Hello there, my name is Pavin and I'm Invisalign's top Invisalign full associate in the UK on a pro rata basis, and I'm also the CEO and founder of Alchemy, UK's #1 and fastest growing Invisalign growth mentors. Welcome to Series 2, Episode 4, The Cold Call. The reason why we're going to call it The Cold Call is we've discussed in Series 1 consideration, right? And in Series 2, we're dealing with the conversation. What every dentist wants is when the conversation happens, it's lovely and it's nice, and the person on the other end of the phone is just dying to give you their credit card details and have a lovely chat. The reality is most people are busy, they're scared, and they're forgetful, and half the time they don't even know what they've signed up for. Let's be honest, when you receive a call from a number that you do not recognize, are you instantly sort of, hey, how are you? Who is this? How can I help you? Or are you automatically on the defensive, which is, who is this? I'm going to give you 2 minutes before I become passive aggressive and put the phone down. So what we recognize is in a world of cold calling, spam callers, online fraud, people that we don't know or trust, I hope everybody recognizes that just because someone is in the consideration phase, just because they've given you their commitment to have a conversation, it doesn't mean necessarily that when you call them, they're going to understand the framing and the context of why you're calling. And this is the #1 area that we see that for practices who are failing to do a good job are struggling. Because the #1 thing that we're recognizing is that there is not a script that has been designed to engage that person. So let's pretend you've had someone from social media who has filled out a form and they're saying, I'm in the consideration phase, let's have a conversation. If someone has spent 45 seconds to a minute populating details and information, is that person a time waster and a tire kicker? Probably not. But if you do not manage the call with finesse, sophistication, I hope you understand why it can go horribly wrong. An example of a call that goes horribly wrong is, hello, I'm calling from dentist blah 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 blah. You want Invisalign? When can I get you in? I hope everybody understands that if you receive that call, you'll be on the defensive straight away. Practices who do well say, hey Bav, how are you? I'm calling about the application you made on Facebook 2 minutes ago. Have you got 5 minutes for me? So we need to check in. Do you remember filling this out? And if they say no, then we need to deal with that. Otherwise, they're just going to think you're a spam call. Perhaps they're that silly that they forgot to do it. Perhaps the little baby was playing on their phone and they pressed something. We don't know. As soon as they acknowledge, yes, I have asked to initiate and instigate a conversation, we then have to ask their permission. Do you have 5 minutes for me so I can help you with your inquiry? Having sought permission, what we now need to do is to get a deposit. To secure a deposit means we need to build value for a consultation. Practices who do a bad job start to answer each and every question on the phone. But the honest truth is, can a non-clinical person, in the absence of any kind of data, really give any sort of information? What we need to do is to say, the goal of this conversation is onefold: to build enough value, urgency and scarcity so that person is, wow, I really need to come in and meet Dr. X and learn about Invisalign. When it comes to the call, what we're finding is that practices who understand that the person at the other end of the phone is nervous, they're anxious, they think it's a cold call. They probably don't realize that you were going to call them. You've caught them unaware at the worst time of their life. And if with finesse and sophistication, we do not frame context and have a structure to the conversation, it's going to be very, very easy to lose that person. Recently, I had to drive up to Leeds to see one of my amazing clients. Even though my sat-nav told me where to go, the signposting was very confusing as the road sort of triangulated and went into different directions, and I got confused and went on the wrong road. Everybody here at some point has got lost where the signposting and the communication was poor. In the same way, when you cold call someone, if your signposting and how you structure things is poor, you will not secure a deposit. If, however, you've scripted it, you've structured it, you've got the framing correct, and most importantly, you have rehearsed it, and you have objection handling answers, the game becomes too easy. I can tell you right now, my top clients who are doing insane numbers of Invisalign have teams that are drilled, rehearsed, and as Aligner Alchemy, we are the #1 company in the UK that do this. But having a team that can execute this is the difference between you doing 20, 30, 40, 50 Invisaligns and the difference between doing more than 300, which is where I am at today. So guys, thank you so much for your time today. Let's share, let's tag, let's start a conversation, and let's start to all help each other. Thanks a lot. Bye.